I made a short film and it sucks. And I hate it. Alright, it's not that bad. So let's talk about some of the things that went wrong with my short film, Someone Else. And then I'm going to give you some tips on how to avoid making the same mistakes that I made. Let me tell you a little story about the filming of this short film. So I had a great location, empty house. I could set it up however I wanted. The makings for a good horror film, right? I wrote a script and it was okay, but not great. There's a few things that I wanted to fix while I was shooting. That was a huge mistake.
Listen to me. I need help.
So I did a couple rehearsals with who I was going to use as my lead actress. I won't name her. They went well. I was happy with how things were going. I even did storyboards for every single shot that I was going to shoot. Let's fast forward a little bit. So first day of shooting comes, my small crew shows up, but no lead actress. An hour after waiting for her, she finally says that she's not going to be able to do the project at all. This film was planned to be shot over 3 days with a really small crew. So her bailing on me last minute kind of left me sitting there with a crew of people wondering what the heck we were gonna do. That night I ended up reaching out to all of my potential lead actresses, anybody that I thought about using before and anybody that in a pinch I thought might be able to work. Did everything I could to try and get somebody for that night or any of the other nights just so that I didn't lose this whole entire film. I only had the location for 3 days and that was a huge factor in the timeline of this shoot. A friend of mine, Katie, stepped up and took over the lead role in the film, but she could only shoot the one night. So knowing that this was going to be a bit of a mess and we were going to have to shoot 3 nights worth of footage in one night, I let everybody know that it was going to be a long night. I tried to make sure everybody was going to be fed and kept positive about the project. The crew did not show up. So it ended up just being me and me.
Besides the pending nervous breakdown, yeah, I'll be all right.
So it ended up just being me, the lead actress, the lead actor, and someone who was supposed to come help with filming and sound, who ended up being our bad guy. We shot from, I believe, 6 o'clock in the afternoon till about 6 in the morning. While I was setting up lights, my lead actress was sleeping on the couch. It was a mess. So any of the problems with my script were impossible to fix while shooting.
Outside. He's gonna kill us. He's gonna kill us.
Okay, I edited the video. Everybody that was involved with it is excited about it, wants to see it, but I don't like it. It has some great scenes in it and definitely some stuff that is usable and that I really like and shows what we can really do, but a lot of stuff in the story that just doesn't make any sense or is repetitive or just is not that great. So I couldn't not release it. There was talks of even having a release party. I just didn't feel like it was good enough. I felt like I didn't want to put it on a pedestal if it wasn't the best that I could do. So that's a huge problem with making short films, is if they're not that great, how do you release them? How do you promote them? And it's definitely something that I've never heard anybody touch on, and I don't have the answer to it, but I'm gonna give you a couple tips on how to not make the same mistakes that I did.
You did this. You did that.
Tip number 1 is make sure your cast is reliable. At least the main part of your cast, the people that you truly need to make the shoot happen, make sure that they are reliable. Paying them does not hurt. If this is a school project or something like that, it's still, if you can come up with some kind of money to pay them to give them an incentive to show up, it definitely will help.
So, I guess you'll be needing a ride in the morning then?
Yeah.
Tip number 2, always have backup dates. Now make sure that your cast and crew know about these backup dates, but understand that they're only in case of emergency, in case something happens, whether location falls out or your lead actress doesn't show up. Tip number 3 is using rehearsals and storyboards to block your scenes and make sure that there's no problems with your script before shooting. Doing this will make shooting a lot faster, a lot more efficient, and you'll be happier with the end result.
I don't understand.
Now, all that being said, I learned a lot from this film, and I definitely have a lot to take away from it. There's some scenes in it that I truly love. I'm really happy with them. But there's a lot of parts where the story kind of just falls apart and it just kind of ruins everything else. I also want to say that sometimes not planning out your shoots and not planning out your film can totally work. Run and gun setups sometimes can be the best. I prefer to plan everything out and have it in the back of my mind that things are going to change, because they always do. So learn from my mistakes and take some of these pointers into consideration. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. You can also find me on Instagram at Ian Fursa. So keep on filming, and I will see you later.